sorry, I'm really quiet right now. It's just, at the time I'm recording this, my brother is sleeping in the room that's right over there. And my door is the only thing that's literally keeping the sound from passing through there, besides a fan that's in his doorway. But I wanted to record a video today because I wanted you guys to know the events that have occurred yesterday and today. So what happened yesterday is my school had gone into a lockdown, and I thought it was nothing of it because it was soft lockdown. We could continue what we were doing, and then they moved us into the gym. And 7 through 9 was in that gym, and I didn't know why I was in the gym. Neither did my friends. The friends who were there can verify that this happened. So I was in the gym, I was sitting next to my friend, and we were just kind of doing some musicallys, and then my other friend walks up to me and she's like, "Hey Holly, do you know why we're in the gym?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Oh, there's a killer in town, and stuff." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And she's like, "Yeah, there's a killer in town, so they're putting us in the gym." And she walked away. I'm like, you know, that's interesting. And then, like, after a while, I started to worry because one of my friends was like, "Yo, the dude could come over here and he might, like, harm us or something." And then I started, because I get scared in these situations, and this was my first actual lockdown, and I started crying, and my other friends can verify this if they watch this video. They can verify that I started crying, and my friend who was sitting next to me started playing music so I would calm down. And then afterwards, my other friend wasn't the one who told me what happened before. She's like, "Okay, so they found the guy and they've surrounded him. He's at, like, this location." I'm like, "Okay." And then literally, I can't remember how long later, but then she came back over and she's like, "Oh, he's at this location now." I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, "Oh, he has, like, a bow and arrow." I'm like, are you joking with me?" And then I start, like, repeating to myself, "I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want this to be my last day on earth." Because there had been so many things that I have not done in my life yet, and I didn't want that to be my last day on earth. But obviously that wasn't. And they said the dude locked himself in the house, and I'm like, why are we still here then? Oh wait, that's downstairs. So I'm like, why are they still here then? And then my best friend comes up to me, and she's like, "There's this guy in the next town, and he's got a gun, and he said," and she's like, it's really easy for him to just come over to Sac. She said it's really easy for him to come over to the town that I live in and come shoot up the place. And I'm like, oh god. And I start crying again, and I'm like, and nothing was helping. And then one of the supervisors came over and she's like, "It's okay, we're gonna be safe, and if the guy does come here, we'll make sure to protect you guys first," and stuff. And then my other friend comes up to me and she's like, "If the dude does end up coming over here, they're gonna move us into the basement, and they might end up shooting up the school." And I start repeating again, because I have this thing in my mind where I'm like, I'm going to die today. And I start crying again, and my friend, Ray, yeah, he's okay with it. he's sitting across from me with his other two friends on either side. He's playing on his Chromebook. Thank you, Ray, for kind of standing up here. He screams from where he's at. He's like, Brooke, stop! You're going to make her cry. And at this point, I was already crying, and she just kind of, were having an argument. And then the friend who's sitting next to Ray kind of just started getting in the conversation, and I screamed at him. I'm like, you're not in this conversation, now get out of it. And then Georgia, my friend Georgia, she started playing music again, and the dude who was sitting next to Ray, he's like, Georgia, that's obviously not helping, so stop making her listen to it. I'm like, Devin, get out of the conversation. And I just kind of put my head in my knees, and I just kind of sat there. My friend had left, and I'm like, okay, I'm in my own little place right now. I'm okay. Everything is alright. And then when we finally got released out of the gym, the dude had been caught. And I'm like, why are we still continuing the school day? I'm like, I don't want to continue the school day. And so we went on with the regular day. And when I got home, all my family just kind of checked to make sure I was okay and everything. I'm like, it's okay. And my grandma's friend, she had made some cookies, and I'm like, and Claire's like, if you're feeling like still really scared and depressed, how about you eat something that comforts you? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find something in the house. And I started like eating a big old sugar cookie, and I'm like, okay. And I was really panicked because like during the lockdown, my mom wasn't answering her phone, and I thought she had died with my two brothers at home. And by the time that I was calling my mom, she was at home, and she said, Dad called, and he said to get the boys, let Bear outside really quick, bring him inside with you, because he will let you know if somebody's trying to break into the house, and grab the pistol that's sitting at the side of our bed and keep it next to you just in case somebody breaks in. And when I called her, she said, the boys are right beside me, I have the pistol right next to me, Bear's sitting in the corner of the room, making sure nobody breaks in. And I'm like, okay. And then I look at the clock, and it's about 1 o'clock, and I'm like, Dad's at work, and he works at a car dealership, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to. And I'm like, oh God, I know he has like kind of weapons there, but this guy has like a long-range weapon, like a bow and arrow, and I'm like, oh God, this is not going to turn out well. And then today I found out that a dude had stolen one of my friend's grandpa's trucks and drove it through a yard and stuff, and then I found out that the house that the person had broken into was one of my teacher's houses, and I'm like, that's not cool. So today happened, and I was going home, and I was still shaken about yesterday, and nobody was there, and I'm like, oh, maybe it just happened last time where they were a little late. Nobody was showing up, so I walked all the way home, not all the way home, to my grandparents' house because they were closer to where the school was, and I just kind of was like, please, God, do not let anybody take me or do anything to me. When I got there, my grandpa's son was sitting on the deck with his two kids, and I, like, kind of shouted, but also was kind of crying. I'm like, who was picking me up? Was I just going to be forgotten? And he looks up at me and sees me, like, walking home, and he's like, I thought my dad was going to pick you up. If I had known he wasn't going to, I would have gone and picked you up myself. I walked in, and they said, oh, I'm sorry, honey, our alarms didn't go off. And the thing was, my grandpa, he did not set up one alarm. He set up, like, 5. and none of those 5 went off. None of them. Not one. And I was worried because I'm like, what if I get taken off the streets and nobody knows where I went? Or what if somebody attacks me and I had nobody to help me? And honestly, I was scared when I was walking back home. And they said, honey, I'm so sorry. Our alarms didn't go off. And I'm just so very sorry. And I'm like, well, I'm just glad that nothing had happened to me. And I went home and I kind of just relaxed for a little while, and I kind of wanted to just forget about what happened today. But I also kind of wanted to let you guys know what happened, because I feared that I wasn't going to be on this earth anymore for 2 days straight. And I'm hoping to God that this never happens to you guys. Now, everybody is going to be in a hard lockdown in one of their, sometime in their life, like an actual lockdown. I know that's going to happen, but I don't think the chances of you being in an actual lockdown and then having to go home, like walking by yourself with nobody there to help you or anything, the next day is ever going to happen, and I really hope it doesn't. I'm sorry if I made you sad with my video today, but I just needed to vent about what happened, because I feel that it is needed to be said on what happened yesterday and today. And, well, that's the end of the video. See you guys in the next one.